We are back with episode 2 of What If Yoda Found and Trained Darth Maul Before Palpatine. In the last episode, Grand Master Yoda was compelled by the Force to visit the planet Dathomir, where he finds the impressionable boy known as Maul, and after negotiating with Mother Talzin, she allows the Jedi to take her son to train. When Maul becomes of age, he constructs a double-bladed green lightsaber, the same saber color as his Grand Master. He also learns to use the Ataru style of combat from Master Yoda, which makes Maul an elaborate acrobatic, even gaining him the nickname of the Red Blur, and his talent makes him a Jedi prodigy that stands out from his own age group. But, in despite of all that, Yoda can sense an inner darkness within his young Zabrak apprentice and tells Maul to meditate more in hopes of suppressing the dark side that is within. Meanwhile, Palpatine takes on a new apprentice imbued with Night Sister magic, that being the young boy Savage Opress. Sidious ends up giving Savage the title of Darth Brutus. And in this episode, Darth Brutus will clash with the Red Blur, which will create a rivalry between the two brothers of different orders. So let's begin. The episode begins with Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi informing the Council on their run-in that they had with Darth Brutus. They tell the Council that they believe the sinister Sith Order has finally returned, and the Council is skeptical of this new information. Qui-Gon exits the meeting and comes across Maul, who can sense tension through the Force, so he inquires on the situation, and Qui-Gon tells Maul what he told the Council, which is that he believes the Sith have returned. This revelation surprises Maul, and he tells the Master to be careful on his trip to Naboo. Maul had respect for Master Qui-Gon Jinn, even though he didn't agree with Qui-Gon's methods. Sometimes, however, inwardly he wondered if Qui-Gon was actually correct in his teachings. Maul parts ways from Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and later on, the Red Zabrak asks to speak with his Master Yoda in private. Yoda asks Maul what is troubling him, and he tells Yoda that he is worried the Sith have returned, as Qui-Gon believes. Yoda tells him that nothing remains in the darkness forever, and that they would know soon enough. Ultimately, Maul tells his master that he plans to also travel to Naboo to assist Qui-Gon, hoping to extinguish the flame of the Sith before it ever burns the galaxy once more. He walks away, but Yoda, knowing his apprentice, really believed that Maul was inwardly hoping the Sith had returned because of his love for combat, and this worried the Grand Master. Maul arrives on Naboo feeling war and conflict through the Force, while also sensing something darker he could not describe. Landing his ship, he focuses on Qui-Gon's presence, and he is worried that he is too late to help the Jedi fight against the Phantom Menace. He arrives just in time to see Qui-Gon pierced by a red lightsaber, which surprised and angered the young Zabrak. And the other person who saw this event was a man of the same age group as Maul, that being Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was devastated by the fall of his master. The red doors open and Obi-Wan fiercely challenges Savage Opress, known as Darth Brutus in this What If, as his blue blade meets red. But this fight is hard for Kenobi because Savage Opress actually has more power and potential than even Darth Maul due to the Sith magic of Mother Talzin, or the dark side magic of Mother Talzin. And eventually Obi-Wan is knocked to the ground by Darth Brutus, who plans to finish the Padawan off here and there, putting an end to both the Jedi Master and his apprentice. But suddenly, to both surprise, the red lightsaber is halted by the bright green blade, thwarting the attack. Savage is surprised by the arrival of another Jedi, and even more so that he is a fellow Night Brother, challenging him, and inwardly Maul is just as surprised by the Night Brother in front of him, but he floods his thoughts with determination, wanting to end the Sith before they can begin any further plans here and now. Savage quickly learns that he is not the only one wielding a double-bladed lightsaber. As Maul activates his twin green sabers ready for combat, Savage smirks at the challenger, impressed to see another double-bladed lightsaber duelist. The Knight brothers engage in a fury of green and red strikes, a duel of rage versus resolve, as Darth Maul was determined to stop the red phantom menace of the Sith from ever rising again. Savage was starting to become fatigued, however, because he had already battled the Jedi before Maul, such as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and was planning his exit strategy, so he locked his eyes on Obi-Wan. He locked his eyes on Obi-Wan, planning to take him out, seeing him as the weaker link. Maul sensed this intent and used the Force to push Savage back, and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were moved behind the red shields along with himself. Savage turned to get one last look at the red Zabrak before exiting the area, and Maul was mad with himself for letting his enemy get away by choosing to save his colleague, but he suppressed the emotion currently. His anger turned into sadness when he turned to see the dying Master Qui-Gon in the arms of his Padawan, saddened that he didn't arrive sooner to save the fallen Jedi, and Qui-Gon tells the both of them to train the boy, and Maul was confused by the dying wish, wondering what boy was he referring to, not yet being privy to Anakin Skywalker yet. After the end of the skirmish, Maul attended Qui-Gon's funeral, deep in his thoughts, as he replayed this battle in his head, wondering what he could have done differently, and the darkness within himself was slowly rising, so he knew he needed to deeply meditate. Obi-Wan sits next to Anakin, and Mace Windu and Yoda look at Maul, concerned for him being silent since he returned from Naboo, and also concerned about the return of the Sith in the galaxy. Maul had not said anything since his arrival. But his concerns were dampened when he locked eyes with the boy Qui-Gon spoke about in his last moments, alive, and Maul can sense something special about the boy and will help him along the way alongside the Padawan Obi-Wan. And that's where we're going to be leaving things. Be sure to comment your thoughts and any ideas you could think of for the next part of this story before the next part, and I might think to add it along with the story. Peace.